Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody's opinion of you determine yourself.
What's going on, everybody? It is your dude Lorenzo once again coming to you with another Let That Marinate podcast episode. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. It's the weekend. I know some of y'all are ready to enjoy your weekend after a long, hard work week. So, hey, make sure you enjoy the weekend. Make sure you're safe, but definitely make sure you enjoy it. So yeah, let me just hop right into it, man, because this episode is actually inspired by a question that I get asked pretty often, and that's Lorenzo, are you ready for a relationship? Do you want love? Are you healed enough to be in a relationship? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I do want a relationship. I feel like I'm built for it. Um, I feel like I'm built for love, and I do feel like I'm healed. I do feel like I'm healed to be in a relationship. However, in my experiences, I've noticed that people who claim that they're ready for a relationship, they're not ready to commit, right? They're not ready for the commitment. And I guess you could ask, well, how can you be ready for a relationship if you're not ready to commit? Because commitment comes with something that a lot of people just aren't willing to do. Right? Commitment is dedication to the partnership, right? It's loyalty, it's respect, it's compromise, it's prioritizing your relationship. It's open communication, it's accountability, and it's working through challenges, right? That's something that a lot of people aren't willing to do. They're not willing to work through the challenges, the bad times, the hard times. Not everybody is ready for that because they didn't prepare for it. They don't have the mental and emotional capacity to deal with it because they didn't prepare for it. All they were concerned about was the happy times, right? Because because at any time people who are only in it for the happy times, those are the ones who fell in love with the idea of relationships, right? They're infatuated with the idea of love and relationships because they're only thinking about the good moments, the happy moments, the blissful moments. Like that's all they think about, right? But it's more to a relationship is more to it than just that. You're not always going to have happy times. You're not always going to have those beautiful moments. There are times where you're not going to agree with each other. You're going to be upset with each other, and you may not be on the same page when it comes to certain things. However, if you are committed to that person, and if you're committed to that relationship, then that means you're going to work through it, right? You're gonna work through it. You're gonna communicate, and you're gonna figure out a resolve. You're gonna figure out a way to come to some kind of common ground to resolve the problem. But it's like nowadays, as soon as a person gets upset with the other person, they feel like that's grounds to walk away. And if it's that easy to walk away, then you never wanted to be in a relationship, or you just didn't want to be in a relationship with that person. And you were just looking for a reason to walk away. But even so, even if a person says that they're ready to be in a relationship with someone, you still can't you still can't walk away anytime conflicts come. You can't walk away anytime challenges come. You figure it out together. That's what partnership is. You figure it out together. And not everybody is willing to do that. Not everybody is willing to do that. And and nowadays we live in a microwave society where everybody wants things quick, fast, and in a hurry. They're not willing you know, to build. They're not willing to put in the work, right? Like I'm gonna go here real quick, ladies. Give me grace on this, but I'm gonna go here for a minute. Some of y'all might not agree, but it is what it is. But you know how some women have like this list, right? They have like this criteria, right, of what they expect from their man and what they look for in a man and all that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the time, guys who enter into a relationship, we're going into the relationship with the mindset of I want to make sure that I am the best man for her. I want to make sure that I want to make sure that she's happy. I want to make sure that she's safe. I want to make sure that she feels secure. Like I want to actually build with this woman, right? That's our mentality. But for some women, your mentality is you have to fit this in order for us to be together, right? Like you're already putting a whole lot of pressure on this man to be something or do something. Um, you're already telling him what you expect of him, and you're telling him what you're not going to do and what you're not going to, change or whatever. Like like you're already like you're already creating the wrong energy. You're already setting the wrong stage for that relationship because you fit because you want this man to fit your idea of what the relationship should be like. And that's not how that works. That's not how that works. You have to be just as willing to meet his needs, and you have to be just as willing to work towards being the woman that he needs you to be for him. Like it can't be about you. And I'm bringing this up about women because I've seen this happen a lot. I've seen not just with me, not just in my personal experience, but I've seen this happen with a lot of relationships, right? Where the woman expects for the man to meet her needs because in her mind, well, he chose me. He came after me. Okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean that doesn't, you know, absolve you from being what you need to be for him. Like if you opted in to be in that relationship with him, okay, then that means the both of you have to make sure that you're doing what's needed in order for that relationship to grow, right? It can't be one-sided. It can't be one-sided. You have to be willing to work together, right? And you have to be consistent with it. Again, even if he does something to make you mad and vice versa, if you do something to make him mad, okay, if you want to give each other a little space just to calm down, cool. Go in the other room, calm down, you know, do what you got to do to relax your mind and get back, you know, and get back in the space to where y'all can actually sit down and communicate and talk it out. But walking away isn't that's not the answer. Reaching out to other people is not the answer. Going to social media is not the answer, right? If going to social media is your first reaction instead of going to God, that's a problem. That is a problem because you can't involve people in your relationship. You can't go looking for answers from people who don't know what's going on in your relationship because that's going to open the door for the wrong type of energy and the wrong type of advice. You're going to be getting all of this, these different, views and opinions about what you should do when it comes to your relationship. And now in your mind is all cluttered with all kind of nonsense. Meanwhile, your man is probably just sitting there in the room chilling, and he's trying to get his mind right, and he's trying to, you know, figure out what he needs to do to make things right. He's not listening. He's not reaching out to nobody. He's not, going on social media because 9 times out of 10, when we're upset, we don't want to deal with nobody. We just want a moment to ourselves. We want to calm down, and we know that we can't clutter our minds and spirits with all this nonsense. So typically, when we're upset, we just want to be left alone. We don't want to deal with anything, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is this: being committed means no matter how tough it gets, you're still going to put in the work to make it work. And yes, it takes both. It takes both to make it work. Can't just be one person. So, yes, I am ready for a relationship. However, the question is, am I ready for a commitment? My answer is yes. I don't know about, anybody else though. And in my experience, that's what's been the challenge for me is finding someone who's willing to commit. Because I don't need you coming into my life, you know, just for a moment. Like I don't need you coming into my life because I got this nice personality, or I like to have fun, and I'm giving you like the good parts of me, you know. But then it's like I'm also flawed, right? Like it's a lot of flaws that I have. So my question is, are you able to deal with the flaws? You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to still stand 10 toes down with me during those challenging moments? That's been my thoughts on that. Is are you willing to stay committed no matter how tough it gets? You know what I'm saying? So yes, I'm ready for a relationship. Yes, I want it, but it's the commitment part. It's the commitment part because not everybody, has the capacity to be committed. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my time for right now. I may come back with a part 2 to that because there's so much that you can go into regarding that, and I think I may do it. So y'all stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, thank y'all once again for supporting the podcast. I really appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all continue to follow me on all social media platforms. Let's stay connected. Let that marinate. Salute.
Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine yourself.